Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Chappie over here at Intense, and for today's video we are going to be troubleshooting any potential creaks and squeaks that you may be experiencing on your bike. Alright, so there are four main aspects that we're going to be reviewing here as we go through the troubleshooting process. First, we're going to take a look at our suspension system and all of our linkage hardware. Then from there, we will take a look at our drivetrain. We'll take a look at our brakes, and then lastly, we'll take a look at our headset assembly setup. So with the drivetrain, we'll kind of go through a couple different symptoms you might be experiencing. So first and foremost, you'll get, typically when you lose a little bit of cable tension, you'll get some inconsistencies with your shifting. They may not be accurate, they may not be precise, or you might be experiencing ghost shifting, which kind of is exactly what the term means, is it'll kind of shift on its own without your input. So those are pretty clear signs that you need to go a little bit further and get some adjustments made. And we do have a video geared specifically around derailleur tuning, so I'd recommend viewing that if you're experiencing that. But we'll kind of go through and kind of demonstrate here. So as you can see here, our drivetrain's definitely not adjusted properly. It's not shifting when it should. It's kind of obviously making a lot of noise. So what we'll do here is we'll do a simple cable adjustment, and then we'll demonstrate how it's supposed to sound. So we'll go through, start back at the bottom, bring our cable tension down. So there you go, we've got really crisp and precise shifting. Everything's functioning as it should. So now we have a drivetrain that's functioning well. So from that point, we've ruled out any creaks or squeaks in the drivetrain. We can move on to the brakes. All right, so the next thing we're gonna look at as we go through this troubleshooting process is our brake system. So first and foremost, we always wanna make sure our brake levers feel good. That ensures that we have a good bleed on our system, and that's obviously very, very important. Next, we wanna make sure our caliper and our rotors align properly. And if we're still experiencing some noises, primarily while using your brakes, there's some other things that might be causing that that we'll discuss at that point. So first, we're just gonna review the front wheel over here. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of rub. The wheel's not spinning very well, and it's making an audible noise between the caliper and the rotor. So we'll make a slight adjustment there and we'll alleviate that and then recheck. As you can see, the assembly is silent and the wheel is spinning much more freely, which are both great things that we're obviously looking for here. So that's the first most common thing, is you'll get rotor and caliper rub. Something else that could potentially happen is that your pads or rotors, or pads and rotors, may be contaminated. And this could be from a great variety of things, whether it's a chemical used to clean your bike, or maybe somehow you got some kind of silicone or petroleum-based lube or cleaner on the rotors and pads. They can seep into the pad material and basically contaminate them to the point where they don't provide the braking performance you're expecting, and it will be very, very loud. So when we're talking about brake adjustment, we will have a brake adjustment video available in our tech video library. So definitely go ahead, take a look at that if you're experiencing these braking issues. We'll go through in detail on some methods and techniques we can go about fixing those. So the final item we're going to be reviewing as we go through this four-step troubleshooting process is we're going to take a look at the headset assembly. This is also a pretty common area to experience creaks, squeaks, vibrations, and things like that on your newer bike, or as the bike goes through its life. So the most common thing you'll physically notice is some vibration. This is really, really common going through really choppy terrain. You might feel the bars physically vibrating in your hands. You might get some knocking as well. They are pretty drastic symptoms and very noticeable, but it's really a simple fix to take care of. So basically what we'll be doing is just resetting the preload on our headset assembly. So we do find that there's a good range for your headset preload, and that's going to be anywhere from 2 to 4 Newton meters. So we will have a technical video also focused in on how to properly set up your headset preload. So I definitely refer to that to go a little bit more in detail on that. But as far as symptoms go, those are pretty obvious symptoms, and it's really a very simple fix there. We have successfully gone over the 4 main points as we go through the troubleshooting of Creaks and Squeaks on our Intense bike. So if you have any questions or want to get into more detail on what each one of those processes are, whether it's going through and torquing and servicing your link system, whether you have a drivetrain issue that you want to remedy and want to get in more detail, or headset or brakes, we have technical videos for each one of those. And also, if you have questions on torque values related to the suspension components or any of the components on the bike themselves, please refer to the user manuals that are located on our website as well as included with your bike. And then beyond that, if that still leaves some questions unanswered, don't hesitate to reach out to our customer service team. They're more than happy to walk through the steps in order to make sure that your bike's performing as intended and you're out riding your bike. Thanks so much for choosing Intense.